everybody please remain standing as our VFW Post 295 presents our colors. Star Spangled Banner will now be presented by our concert choir directed by Chad Lindblom.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Would you please help me greet the class of 2005 with a huge round of applause? Class may seat. School Board Chair Forster, Superintendent Babbitt, honored board members, seniors, parents, friends of the seniors, I'd like to welcome you to the 98th commencement exercise of South St. Paul High School. Graduation night is always special because we are celebrating the success of the seniors of 2005. Graduates, what makes this special is that many of our grandparents, great-grandparents, and relatives from all over the United States are here to honor you, the seniors of South St. Paul. Graduates, please join me in thanking all the people here to honor you tonight with a big round of applause. I would also like to make some introductions of some other guests who will be participating in our ceremony this evening. Each of these people has made a difference in the education of our seniors. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing. District retirees: Janet Schmall, Susan O'Brien, Dee Dee Edwins, Marlene Ecker. Department representatives, Mr. Steve Fleming from Art, Miss Lori Peterson, the Business Department, Mr. Dave Wolf, Industrial Technology, Miss Nancy Dolan, Language Arts, Mr. Kevin Ekman, Math, Mr. Paul Bergren, Music, Mr. Jeff Legou, Physical Education and Health, Miss Katie Ellis, Science, Mr. Peter Schultz, Social Studies, Miss Annette Raymond, Special Education, Miss Sue McDonald, World Language, Miss Robin O'Reilly, Family Studies. School board members, Miss Deborah Clark, Miss Carrie Petrozewski, Miss Kay Erickson, Mr. John Voyevich, Mr. Todd Pogorski, Mr. Bruce Haggerty. Seated on the stage this evening, School Board Chair, Ms. Shelley Forster, Superintendent, Dr. Dana Babbitt, our distinguished graduate, Honorable Judge Leslie Metzen, Mr. Dennis Freeman, who will be accepting this award for his father, our honored graduate, Mr. William Freeman, school administrators, Mr. Chad Sexauer, Ms. Kathleen Johnson, and honored faculty speaker, Mr. Felton. These fine people represent just some of the many teachers and staff who have touched the lives of our graduates over the years. Seniors, and I, at this time, want to thank each and every one of you very much. Let's please give them a large round of applause. Thank you. Finally, we want to publicly thank the South St. Paul Educational Foundation scholarship donors. Through their generosity, over $194,000 was distributed to members of the class of 2005. These scholarships are provided annually to aid students with their future educational plans. Let's have a round of applause for all of the scholarship donors and the student who won these awards. Our community has gathered tonight to help you, the graduates, write the final page of Chapter 1 of your book called The Educational Journey. High school graduation closes the first chapter of your educational journey. Like any great book, after Chapter 1, an exciting new chapter awaits you. Chapter 2 is entitled Transition to Adulthood. But before you make this transition in your life, we want to congratulate each and every one of you on your accomplishments and wish you all well before you leave South St. Paul High School and prepare for this next chapter. The class of 2005 has accomplished greatness. You provided us with many memorable moments, athletic success, breathtaking moments on the stage, unbelievable concerts, the most students ever in the history of South St. Paul to take IB tests. But most important, you have continued and contributed to this community by being the fine, outstanding adults that you are. There is a technical explanation as to why our school district is entitled Special School District Number 6. I believe a major reason our school is special is because of the class of 2005. Everybody, please join me in showing your support of the class of 2005 by giving them a hearty round of applause. I now have the honor of recognizing and presenting to the valedictorian and salutatorians for for the class of 2005. As I call your name, I ask you to come to the stage and receive a medallion in recognition of your accomplishments. Our salutatorians are Miss Rose Buss and Mr. Matthew Wilkin. Please come forward. Rose's parents are Sherry Krusner and Michael Buss. Matthew's parents are James and Jane Wilkin. Matt and Rose, please come forth. Our 2005 salutatorians. At this time, I'd like to present our valedictorian for the class of 2005, Miss Allie Marion. Allie's parents are Patrick and Sharon Marion. And at this time, we'll have Allie present the class, a presentation to the class of 2005.
To begin, I would like to take a moment to say thank you to all of those people who supported the class of 2005 and the many endeavors which had aided us in reaching this milestone. Parents, teachers, family, and friends, we thank you. As we sit here as a class, side by side, as we have done so many times before, we are doing so for one last time. We are only a few short moments away from both an end and a beginning. Although it may be more common for us to feel as though our high school careers are coming to an end, I prefer to think of this as the beginning of the rest of our lives. This is a very unique time in our lives. No matter what has preceded this moment, we are all leaving this place with a clean slate. Wherever we go from here, we have only our future ahead of us, and the only things that need to follow us from our past are the lessons that we have learned and the knowledge that we have gained. It is time for each one of us to become the person that we have dreamed of being. It is time to begin the journeys that we have dreamed of embarking on, to become the doctors and nurses who will heal the injured bodies, the missionaries and preachers who will heal the suffering souls, and simply the next generation of people who will change the world. It is now time for each one of us to act, to show the world that we are people who are of a true and honest character, with good intentions, not solely for ourselves, but more importantly, for others. Many times as graduates, life tends to revolve around us alone, but it is this class that will set a new standard. We will be the example for future graduates. It is time for us to be a success, not for ourselves alone, but for the sake of humanity. We are the class that will strive to reintegrate generosity, empathy, and passion into each and everything that we do, no matter what it may be or how simplistic it may appear. We have to come to the realization that we do not inhabit this world alone, that life extends beyond these borders, which until now we have refrained from passing. Let yourself be open to the endless opportunities that await you. Do not let the fear of your future stop you from becoming anything but extraordinary, because anything less would be selling yourself short. Do not ever settle for mediocrity, but sustain a passion for a driven and dynamic life. Be sure that you take the time to appreciate all that you have and the people around you. Always remember that life is what you make of it, so never stop moving forward and never lose sight of your dreams. You can be anything that you want to be, and the only limits that will stop you are the ones that you set for yourself. Do not be afraid to defy the odds. Take the time to give time, and remember, the future is in your hands, so mold it and let it take you to places that you only dreamed of going. You have a fresh start. You have nothing to hold you back. So remember, As the author Joe Saba once said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." Good luck to the class of 2005 on a great start and the exciting journey that follows. Congratulations.
Thank you, Allie. As you look around, you'll see some of our students that will be wearing a few different pieces of clothing. Those students who are wearing gold tassels are members of our National Honor Society. Students wearing a gold sash are International Baccalaureate Diploma candidates. Students wearing gold cords are our International Baccalaureate Honor students. Students wearing a white sash are in the top 15% of their class and are graduating with honors. Let's give all the students a big round of applause. I would now like to introduce Dr. Dana Babbitt, Superintendent of Schools, who will present our honorary diploma and our Distinguished Graduate Award.
Good evening. Congratulations, graduates. My name is Dana Babbitt, and I have the honor of being the superintendent of South St. Paul Public Schools. It's my pleasure tonight to present this year's honorary diploma to Mr. William Otto Freeman. And would his son please come up here? Mr. Freeman grew up on a farm in Preston, Minnesota. He was one of 8 children. He joined the Army in 1925 and was honorably discharged in 1934. He lived through the Great Depression by working at a variety of jobs, and his last job before retirement was as a boiler engineer for South St. Paul High School for 10 years. He lived in South St. Paul for 51 years. He loved sports. He played softball and basketball. He coached VFW youth softball, church league softball, and was a great spectator watching not only his grandchildren and his great-grandchildren. Mr. Freeman had an 8th grade education and did not receive a high school diploma. He was actually chosen for this honor earlier this fall. He was headed for his 102nd birthday. He would have been able to walk up here tonight, but he was taken very quickly, and unfortunately he passed away on February 11th, but he would have been very proud to receive this diploma. Therefore, we're presenting the diploma to Dennis Freeman in memory of his father. It reads, William Otto Freeman is declared an honorary graduate for his dedication and many contributions to our school and community, exemplifying what it truly means to serve others. Presented this 9th day of June, 2005, with our gratitude. Thank you. Judge Metzen. It's also my privilege to present this year's Distinguished Graduate Award to Judge Leslie May Metzen. Leslie Metzen was a 1965 graduate of South St. Paul. Now, this wasn't in my speech, but I'm actually a 66 graduate. She looks a lot younger than I do, so I don't know what the deal is with this, but she looks great. Leslie was involved when she was in high school with cheerleading, student council, ushers club, newspaper, and yearbook staff. After graduation, she attended the University of Minnesota, where she earned her Bachelor of Science degree in 1970. She was a Spanish teacher at Durham Hall High School for 5 years, and then was Director of Development at Durham Hall for 1 year. She went back to school to become an attorney after getting her Juris Doctor from William and Mitchell College of Law in 1979. From 1979 to 1986, she was with the Toohey, Lynch, Pugh, and Rogaszewski Law Office in private practice. And in 1986 to the present, she has been the District Court Judge, 1st Judicial District, which chambers in Hastings, Minnesota. She has been the Chair of the Conference of Judges, Chief Judge of the 1st Judicial District, a member of the South St. Paul Restorative Justice Council, a member of the Parent Cooperation Task Force, a member of the Judicial Education Advisory Committee. She has chaired the committee to redraft juvenile delinquency rules of procedure. She's been a member of the Juvenile Justice Advisory Task Force, the Minnesota Judges Association, the National Association of Judges, and she was chosen by the Chief Justice to be a member of the Supreme Court Committee on Professional Growth and Development. She's been involved in many teaching and presentation activities, and in 1999, she was awarded the Rosalie Wall Judicial Award of Excellence by the Minnesota State Bar Association. And in 2000, she was given the District Judges Association Outstanding Service Award. Wow, you have been busy. But tonight, it gives me great pleasure to present her with her best honor, and that is South St. Paul High School's Distinguished Graduate Award. And it reads, South St. Paul High School Distinguished Graduate Diploma. This certifies that Leslie M. Metzen is declared a distinguished graduate for her dedication and many contributions to our school and community, exemplifying what it truly means to serve others, presented this 9th day of June, 2005. Congratulations.
Well, they told me that I had 2 minutes, so I have to throw in my 2 cents worth of advice for all of you. I can hardly believe that it was 40 years ago that I sat where you are sitting now. I tried to remember what was going through my mind. I know that I had been sunbathing that day. Back then, the girls wore white and the boys wore maroon, and I looked like a lobster next to that white robe. Back in those days, we thought that getting a tan was healthy, and sunscreen had not even been invented. Like your class, our world was in the midst of a conflict. We hadn't yet called Vietnam a war. The Beatles were huge, and many of the boys in our graduating class sported Ringo haircuts. The girls in those days wore flips, if you know what that is. I was looking forward to going to the University of Minnesota. I had considered some smaller colleges, but I visited some of them, and the dorm rules said that girls had to be in by 10 o'clock at night on weeknights and 11 on the weekends, and that was way too strict for me. I was anticipating my independence. I certainly did not dream then of being a judge or even a lawyer. I never heard of any women doing such things. Beyond that, I don't really remember very much about the night. I'm not sure we had an honored graduate, and if we did, that person's identity is lost on me, as I'm sure mine will be on you. I want to leave you with 3 thoughts based on a little saying that I have taped inside my desk drawer. As you might imagine, the job of a judge is not often really uplifting and positive, so you have to kind of keep boosting yourself up. Number 1, work like you don't need the money. For me, that means that whatever your job, do it with passion, a positive attitude, and to the best of your ability. In that way, you'll take pleasure in a job well done and have pride in your accomplishments. Number 2, love like you've never been hurt. There are many loves in life. The love of family, romantic love, love of friends, love and respect of coworkers. When you love, you open yourself up to disappointment and hurt and loss. But if you allow that to shut you off from new loves, oh, what a desolate life you will have. And number 3, dance like no one is watching. That's the one that I struggle with. No one wants to look the fool. But there is a freedom and joyfulness in letting yourself go once in a while. Whether it's having a good doubling over, tears down your face belly laugh, or dancing with abandon. Not caring if you've got the moves and rhythm quite right, but just enjoying the fun of the moment. So like everybody else here tonight, I wish each of you a great career and work life, much love, and an abundance of happiness.
Thank you, Judge Metzen. Each year, the Senior Council selects one faculty member to give an address at graduation. This year, they have selected Mr. Craig Felton, science teacher. On behalf of the senior class, I would like to present Mr. Felton with a gift as recognition for everything he has done for our seniors and South St. Paul Public Schools.
Thank you, Mr. Manning. Welcome, Board of Education, faculty and staff, parents, guests, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2005. Thank you for the opportunity to address you tonight. Not only is it an honor to be with you on this important evening, but it also gives me a chance to know exactly what Matt Wilkins is doing for the next 5 to 7 minutes, and that's never a bad thing. Graduating seniors are always given privilege to truckloads of advice given to them by numerous well-wishers. In the movie The Graduate, Dustin Hoffman, fresh out of college, was very apprehensive as he faced the uncertainties of his future. A friend of the family offered him this advice. I just want to say to you one word, just one word, plastics. Well, as you can imagine, that one word of advice didn't mean much to the recent college graduate. And likewise, my advice for you, the class of 2005, cannot be summed up in a single word. Therefore, to help me explain this advice more clearly to you tonight, I hope you don't mind if I do one last music appreciation. If you've had me in class, you know how this works. I play a portion of the song, and you tell me the artist and song title. Tonight, however, I've included the song titles in the segments that you're going to hear because they are the basis of my advice to you. So let's get started. Song number 1.
Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes.
Most of you knew that was Changes by David Bowie. Change is inevitable, and it'll soon be coming your way. Some of these changes you're going to find favorable, some not so favorable. So whether you agree or disagree with change, don't let it sweep you to the curb on the street of personal growth. Change has already been a big part of the 6 years that you spent here at South St. Paul High School. You started out in a 7th grade class that included fellow classmates like Michaela Muchmore, Will Crotty, Harry Mass, to name a few, who've since moved away and they're going to be graduating from other high schools this year. While it may have been painful at the time to lose these friends, new faces like Tom Anazzi, Kenny Cutler, and Mariela Martinez have joined you here at South St. Paul and have become part of the family that is the class of 2005. So as you sit here tonight, I know many of you have very firm plans for what you'll be doing with the rest of your life. Andy Erickson plans on going into the field of business, Paula Cortez will be in education, and Alicia Anderson will be pursuing a career in law enforcement. These are just a few examples of the plans and dreams which are going to leave this field tonight and begin their journey into the great unknown. But as firm as these future plans may be right now tonight, you must be prepared for them to change as well. Hurdles are going to be encountered, and opportunities will arise that will cause some of you to change the plan for your future. Some of you are going to stick to your plan and never waver. I myself sat here in the same field 22 years ago, with positive that I would never be coming back to the halls of South St. Paul High School. Plans do change. So change is going to happen whether you want it to or not, whether you're ready for it or not. Be prepared for change and use it as a means to grow. Song number 2.
Someone sneaking round the corner. Could that someone be Mac the Knife?
Mac the Knife by Bobby Darin. I really didn't have any reason to put this song in other than I know you guys like it when I play the classics. Song number 3, please. The theme from Star Wars, composed by John Williams. Star Wars is the classic story of good versus evil, right versus wrong. As far back as you can remember, you've been making choices based on knowing what was the right thing to do and what was the wrong thing to do. I'm not telling you anything new here. But what I do want to stress to you tonight is that as you graduate and head out into the world, those same choices you make, which are based on right versus wrong, become more critical. Those choices you make are going to affect a great number of people, and they will have greater and longer lasting consequences. Because of this, I'm hoping that all of you continue to be people of integrity, people whose actions and choices are based on the fundamental principle of doing what's right. Along those lines, I'd like to share a quote with you from a little-known golfer named Jack Fleck. Jack Fleck was the 1955 winner of the US Open, and he had this to say about a person's character. Be a good guy, not a nice guy. Nice guys are pleasant outwardly, but they're looking for how situations can benefit them. Good guys give of themselves, no questions asked. Now that quote might be a little confusing at first. After reading it to my 8-year-old daughter, it took me quite a while to explain why all the people that she considered nice weren't necessarily bad people. The quote isn't necessarily talking about how we should judge others. Rather, it describes the type of person we should strive to become. Be the good person, the person who does things for the right reasons, rather than the selfish ones, regardless of outward appearances. Song number 4, please.
Like a man machine, I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
Once again, not very much of a reason to put this one in there tonight, but some of you might feel that you are going off the rails on a crazy train tonight. Life's going to take you places that you've never dreamed of. Song number 5.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street light.
Don't Stop Believing by Journey. I've already mentioned the subject of change and how it'll make an appearance somewhere down the road in each of your lives. When life presents those obstacles, those hurdles that must be cleared in order to reach success and happiness, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Persevere. Know that your dreams and goals are attainable if your desire is strong enough. In February of 2004, there was a picture of Felicia Nelson in the sports section of the Pioneer Press. She was crouched down on her skates, her head buried in her hockey gloves. A state record 86-game winning streak had just come to an end, along with all hopes for a third consecutive state championship. I know Felicia doesn't agree with me on this, but to me that was one of the best sports photographs I've ever seen. To me, it was a tremendous statement about an athlete's passion for their sport and the immense disappointment that comes with falling short of your dreams. About a week after that photo appeared, Felicia confidently told me that the loss would serve as the motivation for reclaiming the state championship the next year. True to her word, Felicia appeared in a much different Pioneer Press photo this year, a photo that showed her hoisting a third state championship trophy. She never stopped believing in herself or her teammates. Aside from this advice that I've given you tonight, I also want to let you know that the class of 2005 is always going to hold a special meaning for me. As 7th graders, you were the first group of students I ever taught here at South St. Paul. I then had the good fortune to teach most of you again as freshmen and some as juniors. 6 of you were even lucky enough to have me on 4 different occasions, and I'm not sure if luck is the right word there. But just how long is 6 years? It's so long that during that time I've managed to have one friendly conversation with Justin Elford. I've heard 4 whole sentences out of the always quiet but always polite Amanda Rose Belke. During that 6 years, Adam Keel drank approximately 100 gallons of water, all in 5th hour chemistry. Tom Manazzi wore socks on 3 different occasions. And Al Stalock went through 5 different hairstyles. Unfortunately, Jake Gobb stuck with the same one. There's so much more I wanted to talk about tonight, like how I hope Andrea Smilich can cash in on her uncanny resemblance to Barbra Streisand, Nikki Price's love for water-soaked Twinkies that have been sitting in dirty chemistry beakers, and how I love to say the names Half Price and Felicino. I want to talk about a lot more of this tonight, especially how I miss our annual homecoming get-togethers where Jake Johnson and his friends would stop by my house later in the evening and make sure my family was stocked up on paper supplies. There's a lot more, and I know I left a lot of people out, but the dismissal bell is about to ring, and for the first time since I've known you, I can't keep you after class just so I can finish. So congratulations to you, the class of 2005, and I do mean it when I wish you the very best of everything life has to offer.
Thank you, Mr. Fountain. At this time, We are blessed to have a musical piece, True Colors, which was been composed by Steinberg and Kelly, arranged by Tom Jensen, will be performed tonight by our concert choir, directed by Chad Lindblom.
I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show me your true colors, your true colors. Doom doo doo, doom doo doo, doom doo doo doo. Doom doo doo, doom doo doo, doom doo doo doo. You with your sad eyes, don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can't lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show me your true colors, your true colors. Doom doo doo, doom doo doo, doom doo doo doo. Doom doo doo, doom doo doo, doom doo doo doo. Show me a smile that it's been so long I can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy, you taking all you can bear, just call me out, because you know I'm there. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show me your true colors, your true colors. So don't be afraid to let them show me your true colors, your true colors, your beautiful like a rainbow. Doom doo doo, doom doo doo, doom doo doo doo. True colors.
Thank you, concert choir. And now, the moment you seniors have all been waiting for. Mr. Felton told me to remind you that this was why you put up with him for 6 years to get to this point. So the presentation of our senior class, which will be done by Mr. Chad Sexauer, Dean of Students.
Good evening. Graduation is a happy but solemn occasion, and the school requests the audience to refrain from yelling or making other noises throughout the roll call of the class. Please respect the viewers at home and stay behind the cameras when taking pictures. Also, respect each family's wish to hear each son or daughter's name being announced. Allie Nicole Marion. Rose Cruiser Buss. Matthew Scott Wilkin. Erin Nicole Griffith. Greg B. Moy. Alexandra Nicole Albu. Justin Allen Alford. Linda Carolina Amesqua. Alicia Marie Anderson. Reed Thomas Anderson. Tracy Marie Anderson. Peter James Bachman. Jeremiah Ballard. Megan Jean Banazuski. Savannah Marie Bastian. Leah Colleen Bear. Nicholas Lyle Bennett. Aaron J. Benson. Ryan Andrew Bessler. Ashley Christine Blamers. Amanda Rose Belke. Travis Bernard Buckler. Paul Daniel Braun. Matthew James Bravo. Ashley R. Brevig. Eric W. Brooks. Maggie Ryan Brew. Brian N. Brummond. Cassandra Marie Burbank. Elizabeth Louise Burkett. Amanda Marie Burns. Allison Ann Butenoff. Kevin P. Caicedo. Monica Renee Carlson. Courtney Lynn Carter. Jennifer Skylab Castillo. Jacob Lyle Clement. Jennifer Marie Conrad. Kelly Patricia Corbett. Paula Ray Cortez. Brett M. Crow. Christopher Lee Cushing. Kenneth E. Cutler Jr. Mark James Danielson. Emily Rose DeLeon. Elaine Jean DeRusha. Aaron Jacob DeWall. Michael Russell Dickinson. Leanne Michelle Dochniak. Brianna L. Dodge. Stephanie Dominguez. Amanda Jean Dunges. Nicole A. Donifrey. Ryan John Dumprope. Ashley Ann Dunn. Greg L. Donovan. Rebecca Lynn Dern. Jesse Jean Dislin. Jordan William Eastman. Kate Elizabeth Ellingson. Joshua Patrick Ellis. Michael James Engelmeyer. Andrew R. Erickson. Caroline Ann Evans. David V. Falk. Jonathan Ray Feliciano. Amanda Catherine Felton. Margaret Ann Fisher. Brianna K. Gaddis. Aaron Leroy Gladovich. Jacob Ryan Gobb. Tara Lee Glass. Thomas K. Glenn. Stephanie Suzanne Glovey. Joseph C. Gobley. Amanda Marie Granis. Margarita S. Granetz. Claire M. Haggerty. Samantha J. Haggerty. Josias Philippe Hansen. Scott M. Henderson. Shalina Marcine Hogfoss. Cynthia Ray Holzmer. Jennifer M. Horner. Darren M. Hughes. Jason H. Hutchinson. Brett Carl Isaacson. Luke William Jenigas. Jacob Robert Johnson. Crystal A. Johnson. Carly B. Jones. Samantha Elizabeth Kammer. Shane David Kelsey. Shannon Lindsay King. Amber Jane Kinnear. Sean M. Knutson. Yvonne V. Kovalenko. Nicole Kathleen Kraus. Leah Marie Krizel. Adam Jeffrey Keel. Curtis L. Keene. Michael Thomas Labor. Kathleen Francis Lang, Sorry. Randy Scott Larson. Sarah Annette Lornschmidt. James Kevin Leary. Jennifer Ann Lee. Edward G. Lehman. David Edward Lankowski. Charles Allen Lenz. Nina Jean Letexier. Michael J. Lind. Eileen Marie Lohr. Michael Eldon Long. Samantha J. Lucas. Amanda Jean Lunzer. Mary Colleen Maher. Angelica L. Mankowski. Rose Marie Markreff. Catherine Mary Marshinki. Mariella Martinez. Dale Dwayne Marks Jr. Ryan M. Matheny. Megan Margaret Matthews. Tara Lynn McDonald. Joshua Aaron Melendez. Thomas Craig Manazzi. Riam Samir McHale. Ashley Rose Miller. Jeffrey Allen Miller. Patrick J. Miller. Brandon M. Mondry. Tyler Reese Morales. Rick B. Moreno. Matthew J. Mounts. Ryan Jean Myers. Patricia Nice. Felicia Deborah Nelson. Katie R. Nelson. Scott M. Neubauer. Joshua L. Nielsen. Hannah Laurel Nellis. Luke Anthony Nillis. Adam Robert Nip. Brittany M. Norwood. Ashley May Dolores O'Donnell. Tracy Lee O'Donnell. Alicia Faye Astrike. Benga O. Niega. Rachel Lynn Ogilvie, sorry. Kirsten Ann Oster. Kirsten Ann Oster. Anthony J. Otto. Ross Elliott Otto. Robert Lee Owens. Zachary D. Pampu. Andrew Robert Pike. Lacey Lynn Pfeiffer. Brandon Michael Peltier. Jordan Jackson Peltier. Molly Jane Peters. Shannon Marie Peterson. Matthew Thomas Piper. Michael Thomas Pilot. Stephanie Noel Polzin. Dominique Marie Poquette. Michael John Price. Nicole Michelle Price. Nicole Cherie Ragland. Kelly Lynn Rankin. Nathan J. Rasmussen. Michael Joseph Reppy. Matthew Ryan Ream. Ashla Ann Richardson. Jessica L. Richardson. Ruth Marie Ream, Stephen John Reese, Matthew Reed Robertson, Gregoria Rodriguez, Christina Ann Sauer, Robert K. Saver, Keith Daniel Sawyer, Emma E. Shaper, Conrad Hugh Schilly, Stacy Joy Schlemmer, Amanda L. Schusted, Cheryl Margaret Schwab, Robert Gunnar Seberg, Thomas Frank Cederstrom, Jennifer A. Singer, Jeffrey M. Schenk, Nathan Daniel Shepley Streed, Michael Leroy Sherry Jr., Abigail Kathleen Schubert, Joseph R. Sims, Chris Edward Sirik Jr., Andrea Dean Smilanich, Alexa Irene Smith, Raymond S. Sebaskowitz, Gloria Maliana Solar, Alexander Joseph Stalock, Adam V. Stinnett, Tiffany Michelle St. George, Nicholas Stephen St. Martin, William A. Stransky, Stacy Marie Tyson, Mallory J. Thompson, Daniel Christopher Tanucci, Alicia M. Tomjanovich, Thomas A. Tonda, Jill Tongan, Michael Raymond Trainer Jr., Sarah Joelle Tolchinsky, Stephanie Noel Valento, Paku Bang, Charles Ryan Vasquez, Nicholas William Velasco, Michael Patrick Verbout, Michael James Wakefield, Jennifer Lynn Wallner, Anthony George Watson, Jenna Marie Weber, Amanda Lee Wilcox, Matthew R. Willems, Stephen Miles Williams, Kai Christian Willman, Jamie Lynn Whitnable, Andrew E. Walshin, Kimberly Marie Wollenberg, Pierre Ricks, Mallory J. Yorkson, Kelly Yazwa, Ashley Marie Young, Jamie Nicole Zarambinski, Matthew A. Zelmer.
I talked a little bit about a special class. This is a very, very special group of people. And again, I want to thank you, the class of 2005, for everything that you have helped the school with, helped me, myself personally, and you are very special and will always remain special to myself. With that being said, now comes the big moment of the evening. Graduates, please stand. We've waited many a year for this, And as you look back on this, you'll see how short and how sweet and how wonderful your high school years really were. At this point, I declare the seniors before us have completed all their local and state requirements. As a symbol of your achievements and a new beginning, please move your tassel from the right to the left. I would like to present to you the South St. Paul community, Minnesota's best graduating class of 2005, the South St. Paul Packers.
With your sad eyes, don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can't lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show me your true colors, your true colors. Dum doo doo, dum doo doo, dum doo doo doo, dum doo doo, dum doo doo, dum doo doo. Show me a smile that it's been so long I can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy, you take in all you can bear. Just call me up, because you know I'm there. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show me your true colors, your true colors. So don't be afraid.